Good morning. It is a wonderful, clear morning, and I'm still glad. It is now a couple of days ago, but I'm still glad that the smoke of the fire is gone. But this morning I was at the gym, and I talked with a person who is working for Forest and Wildlife, and I just sort of said to him, I know him, I sometimes talk with him. I said how terrible it is that these fires have occurred, and he sort of started talking to me about it. How devastating it is for all the animals, because all these areas have been completely burned down. There's nothing to eat for these animals anymore there, even those that have survived. And many of them just don't make it. Then it is incredibly hot. Yeah. So it's devastating for wildlife. It is devastating for nature, for people who have their little house in the forest, in the hills, or in nature. All of that gone up in smoke. And all of that because some person decided to set a car on fire. Yeah, because it was done on purpose. And it's just, terrible that this has happened. And so, anyway, the person who I spoke with, he said to me, he says, of course, it is also possible that, that there is thunder and that there is lightning, and that a lightning strike can cause a fire, and that does happen, And then it is nature who has caused this disaster, but in this case it was a person, and it has been already quite a couple of times that we have heard that another fire was set by another person here or there. And in this case, this person who's working for Forest and Wildlife, he was angry about that a person did that, how a person could do that. And then it sort of made me consider that, I didn't get into all this with him, but I felt it would be a good way to use this particular wildfire as a topic to address the devastation, the utter devastation that is caused by our disembodied language. Yeah. I know nobody wants to hear it. I know nobody wants to talk about it. But our usual way of talking, in which we as speakers do not listen to ourselves while we speak, I call that disembodied language, because we have no awareness of our body. We are disconnected from who we are. And so our usual way of talking, because it is our usual way of talking, we are used to it, we are conditioned to have disembodied language. Our usual way of talking is like a wildfire. And it is burning down everything. And even though it doesn't seem that way sometimes, because people have all sorts of beliefs and they like to consider themselves to be safe from the danger, safe from the destruction. But nobody is safe from the destruction of disembodied language. Not even the people who are having embodied language like me. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about how the world is affected by the way in which we speak. Let's make no mistake, yeah? And you may not consider that a fire, you may not consider that inflammatory, or yeah, you may not make that connection. And perhaps you could say that it is smoldering, yeah, it is still burning underneath, yeah. Or you could perhaps compare it to a volcano that can burst out anytime, an earthquake that can happen, a landslide that can occur, a tsunami that can be caused. Yeah, these are just all geological phenomena that are natural upheavals. But our disembodied language is a totally unnatural phenomenon. Our usual way of talking, in which we do not listen to ourselves, is unnatural. I mean, here, look at me, listen to me. Just feel what I'm saying. I am having embodied language. I'm riding my bicycle here. It is a nice cool morning. and I'm talking with you about disembodied language. I'm having embodied language, but I'm talking about disembodied language. Yeah. This is what I am doing every day. I let you know that this is possible. I invite you to have embodied language with me. And where are you? I don't hear anything from anybody. You're listening to all these idiots who are inciting violence, who are, inflaming human relationship, who are burning down everything, who want to destroy everything. For what? Why is everything being destroyed? Why are we so keen on having wars? Why are we so keen on breaking everything down? Why aren't we capable of continuing with what is good and making it better? What has happened to culture in which people want to completely shut each other up, and they still want to maintain as if that is okay, as if that is necessary? No. People who do that, who are in favor of that, who are, of course, all left-wing people, because right-wing people are in favor of the freedom of speech, And if you don't want to hear this, well, then get your stupid head out of your ass. It's not right-wing people who are canceling people, it's left-wing people who do that. And it's left-wing people who are, you could say, the biggest proponents of disembodied language. I'm not saying that right-wing people have embodied language, certainly not, but their views are more conducive to embodied language than the left, for sure. But anyway, let's leave politics out of it for a moment. Let's just continue to consider that our usual way of talking, So you speak with somebody, or somebody speaks with you. You listen to somebody in the news, somebody on TV, somebody on the social media or whatever, somebody makes a video or whatever. Yeah, you listen to other people, you listen to a teacher or to a preacher. Somebody is saying something, and good morning. And they may be nice people, they may be pleasant people, they may be not in any way harmful people in the sense that they have no intention to hurt anybody or do anything bad. But even those people, you have never considered this. Even those people, even the kindest people you can imagine, they are not listening to themselves while they speak. They too are engaging unconsciously, unknowingly, automatically in what I call disembodied language. It is really something. Sorry, I just need to sniff my nose here. Just a moment. Oops. It is really something that everybody is part of this horrible phenomenon which I call disembodied language. And that is why it just keeps reoccurring, it just keeps being triggered in spite of whatever people have done to stop it, to not have it. They keep having it. People do not know how to stop their disembodied language. It can only be stopped if you as an individual take responsibility for yourself. If you no longer concern yourself with the group, whether it is this group or that group, the right wing, the left wing, this religion or that religion, this culture or that culture, this ethnicity, this skin color, whatever. Yeah. No, you as an individual, you can speak with yourself and hear in your own sound. Wow. So different when you listen to yourself. You sound different when you hear yourself again. And if you don't hear yourself, you don't want to hear yourself. If you don't hear yourself, you don't want to hear yourself. Because you sound horrible. Yeah? And so, that's how that is. Morning. So, even the most kind people are unaware, they're not knowing about the importance of listening to ourselves while we speak. That is, I remember when I first began to speak with myself about this, I remember how overwhelming this actually was for me to recognize this. I just could not believe it. Yeah? I could not believe it that everybody is unknowingly engaging in disembodied language. I didn't want to believe it. Somehow I kept saying that, no, it cannot be that bad. But, and you want to sort of assume that people want to have embodied language also, right? Because once you know the difference between disembodied language and embodied language, you want to believe yeah, no, it's better to have embodied language instead of disembodied language. But people don't want to have embodied language. People believe they need to have disembodied language. And even the people that you have considered to be kind or pleasant or open or meditative or whatever, people who everybody considers to be reasonable people, they're not open to this. And when you talk with yourself, you hear yourself, you just cannot believe it. That it is that way. Even now, I feel a sadness about that. I felt a sadness in this man with whom I spoke this morning about the fires, and I felt his sadness. I felt sad with him about the enormous destruction that's going on. He loves his work. He loves his work with the fish and with the forest, and I've talked with him about that, but I'm sad about the fact that, and I have been so long so sad about this issue that also unknowingly I have been sad about it. And people are unknowingly all sad about it. We do not know that we are sad about this. That this is kind of like a depressive part of being a human being. The so-called human condition, yeah? That we're all struggling to survive. Yeah, and we are not only surviving as bodies, that we can live. No, we also, of course, struggle to survive psychologically. We're trying to survive intellectually, economically, emotionally. Yeah. We're trying to survive. It's sad that there is this struggle so many people are involved in, and when you are like me, having embodied language, you can't help but perceive the enormity of disembodied language, how the disembodied language is everywhere and determines everything, and how in this case my own embodied language only determines that I can say this, and that on numerous occasions I have cried about this, and at this moment I still feel sad about it. Maybe I won't cry, but I still feel sad about it, because it is sad. It is sad but true, yeah. And I wish it wasn't that way, but it is that way. And yet it is wonderful, or it is. I'm grateful. Good morning. I'm grateful. I'm happy. I'm just fortunate that I have discovered my embodied language, that I can that I can feel this. I still feel very sad about it. It's, I don't know. I just know how few people get what I'm talking about, and how unlikely it actually is that anyone will get this, what I'm talking about. I've lived 66 years, and yeah, I've done whatever I could to create circumstances, to create situations in which people could begin to have a sense of what this is. But I have come to understand and recognize that hello. I've come to understand and recognize that I cannot go on what I have done. I have done what I did in a process of discovering what this is. I've done what I did to keep myself going. I've done what I could to learn everything about this, what I can know, and but I feel sad about it. I feel sad that I'm having embodied language and the world is in flames. Yeah, that's kind of what it is today. And I do not only feel sad about myself, I feel sad about everybody who doesn't have this. Because I know, strangely enough, that people, they try to have this but they don't succeed. They want to have this but they don't succeed. They believe they can have this but they can't. And all of that is due to the fact that people do not do what I do, like what I do here. Yeah, I talk with myself and I listen to myself, and I feel what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. The sun is coming up. Yeah. I have no problem letting myself know that it makes me feel sad. But I wish I wasn't. I wish I was happy about, I don't know, good morning. I wish I was happy about many people, let's say, many people having this. That hasn't happened, and I I had believed that that would happen. I had wanted that to happen. I've tried to make it happen. I have spent so much time and energy on that, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen in the way I had wanted it to happen, and it only happened in this way. Me having embodied language by myself, and very rarely, very occasionally, a person who wants to be open to that. Who can be open with it. It's not so much wanting, is can you be open to that? Yeah, because do you dare to be open to that? Do you have the authenticity to be open to that? Because all of that is of course why anyone would be open to that. I mean, people who are lying, people who are busy trying to inflame each other, busy trying to incite each other, just stirring the pot, endlessly stirring the pot. Yeah, they're not open to this. And it is just astonishing that anyone with disembodied language is not open to this. Yeah. Yeah. It's a heartache that I've felt my whole life, because I've always known this and I've always felt this, and maybe I wasn't as capable in expressing this, what this is, but this is what it has always been. This is the world that we live in which our way of talking is mainly it is this almost always disembodied language. We only have a few brief accidental moments of embodied language, but we do not even know how it works. We do not even know that we were in these circumstances where we could listen to ourselves and that we were hearing ourselves. We've never put it together that to have embodied language is to listen to yourself while you speak. So we have other ways of referring to what we believe to be embodied language. Yeah, so we have some sort of a wrong concept of what embodied language is. Yeah. Yeah, embodied language. That is what I'm talking about. And I can only say that I am, in spite of my sadness that I was just expressing, in spite of my sadness, I am still happy that I have come to where I have come with my embodied language. Because I have come to this experience of my embodied language, which is which is what this is. But as I was just saying, if I wouldn't have expressed what I just told you, I couldn't have this. If I wouldn't have acknowledged my sadness, that I still can feel, and that, yeah, that may never completely go away, because I am a realist. I'm I'm feeling what's going on. And people don't want to feel what's going on. But I do. And anyone who listens to himself, anyone who hears himself, yeah, they will have this experience, this precious experience of embodied language, in which we stop burning ourselves up. Yeah, because that's what we're doing in disembodied language. In disembodied language, people are burning. People are, their anger is burning. Their frustration is burning. Oh, look how beautiful. The sun is shining through the trees there. I like the way it looks. It's a little bit hazy. When you have embodied language, everything is so mellow. Everything is so so peaceful. Oh. I feel at this moment how I was often feeling when I was a kid, when I would be outside alone and enjoying the morning, enjoying being outside. I've always known what this is, although I may not have had the language which I have today to describe it. And that language, it's nothing special. It's nothing, shocking or anything. It's just how I talk because I hear myself. You could do it too. I could say other things, but I don't want to. I wish you could see and hear this. Okay. Or maybe you do.